This video is suggested by my dear friend Isabel. I don't know her last name. Isabel something. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. It's probably gonna be like, why do breakups hurt so much? I don't fucking know. Let's just get right into it. Sorry, this lighting is pissing me off. Ugh, it's so weird. Nobody wants to get their heart broken, but due to unwanted circumstances, we gotta do what we gotta do. Breakups aren't simply just a separation between two individuals. It is the death of a connection that was once cherished dearly. It is literally the end. But why do breakups hurt so much? Why is it still affecting me years later? I'll be honest, I am certainly no professional. I'm not going to give you clear data or accurate psychology, but I will give you my experiences and advice. Being in love requires so much selflessness, like extreme amounts of selflessness. To love someone means being sympathetic, regardless of how unexplainable their actions are. We give their loved ones so many chances, which diminishes our self-respect each and every time, but we tolerate that because we give our loved ones more attention than others. I don't know, because we care. You know, like, some things, honestly, things don't matter, but we just make it matter. Repeating phrases somewhere along the lines of, why would they do this to me? But some actions cannot be justified. They can be understood, but no justice could replace that wound. Don't trust words, trust actions. Our tolerance can only be withheld to a certain extent, so we can instead choose to let go and live on. Once that bond breaks, we must adapt to change. Change is so scary. Change is literally nothing but unfamiliar. Bro, don't fucking... If you feel like shit is crashing down, the world is like fucking... The world is doing everything at its best to go against you. Hey man, I'm here. We're all experiencing shit like that. I don't know if that's gonna make you feel better, but shit is scary. Change is so scary. Change is nothing but unfamiliar. So the current alternative is to disregard what we are comfortable with, abruptly change to the new trajectory. Oh my gosh, why is that so trajectory? Which is moving on. Typically, you know, uncontrolled, unwanted. This is why it's so difficult, because we are ultimately surrendering ourselves to a substitute that is different and new. I consider myself to be a young woman. I'm currently 16 years of age and have probably fallen stupidly in love like once, maybe twice, but like, I don't know, that doesn't count. I knew like the truth, but like, that's a whole other story. Get out of here. But like, as the saying goes, first loves don't last. Young and naive, I saw him as everything at one point. I considered him like the stars, matchless to the moon, everything corny like that. Now he's become nothing but someone I once cherished, and unfortunately, a part of me will probably always care for someone who meant so much to me. The grieving stage isn't just after the relationship ends. It's 5 months later while you're making a coffee, 1 year later while you're taking a walk, or even 5 years later while you're taking a shit or something. I don't know. It just comes. Like, literally, sometimes I'm just like on my phone scrolling through TikTok and I'm just like, fuck, I'm over that. It just arrives at a random point, which sucks. Grieving is non-linear. Fuck. Grieving is non-linear. So that means it'll come like this. You know, linear math? Like, I don't know. But you know, grieving is non-linear. So don't be surprised if you somehow feel upset from something that occurred years ago. Fortunately though, we remember. It might hurt to recall the situation, or it might not. It shows the courageous process it took to reach wherever you are in life. It requires a strong person to endure and take another step willingly. So don't blame yourself if you feel like you haven't made any progress, because you are literally making progress by the second. Try to accept it for what it was and attempt to move on. Find something or someone that makes you happier. Focus on what needs to be focused and prioritized on. And most importantly, learn to love yourself. But this doesn't mean that you don't deserve love if you don't love yourself, by the way. Because a lot of people assume that, but everyone deserves to be loved even if you don't know how to love or how to love yourself. No breakup is easy. It is essentially breaking off an attachment which includes the past, the current, and what could have been, and we are so obsessed with what could have been, then we further experience disappointment when the stuff we planned out isn't eventually arranged. Like how we thought we were gonna have a family or like marry this individual. It's okay to feel bummed out. And it's okay when those ideas don't get carried out. For future advice, try to learn and experience a relationship in the current rather than focus too much on the future. It probably isn't ideal to consider these like important events at such a young age, and especially if you're like 5 months in a relationship, you really think you're gonna marry someone you knew for 5 months. Bro, maybe take a few more years before considering that. One of the worst things you could do is let yourself down because someone else did. I'm telling you this because this is what I did. My judgment of this character was so misguided, which is funny because I consider myself to be pretty intuitive about people's nature. To be honest, love is blind. This is so cliche. This shit is so repetitive, but love is blind. I was reckless. I trusted someone's word unconditionally, simply falling in love with someone I never truly knew. I fell in love with what I thought he was, and apparently I thought he was so great. There had been times where I was guilt-tripped and gaslit. The worst thing is that I recognized his behavior, but I refused to believe it. He presented himself to be so mature when he really wasn't when it came to emotional intelligence, so I doubted myself so much. I thought to myself, he wouldn't do this, but he did, and that's the veracity of it. Once he wanted to break up, there had been moments where I belittled myself by forcing a connection that was progressively deteriorating. You know how it goes. As much as I didn't want to, I had to do what was best for me, that I had to respect his wishes as well as my dignity. After breakups, our self-esteem is quite fragile during this period, or at least like mine was. I was questioning my identity, my worth, and the loss of a relationship resulted to a sense of loss within myself. I don't know. The mental pain felt physical, which had consumed me entirely. Please do not think you are any less because someone made you feel that way. Or someone told you that way. If anyone tells you that, if anyone fucking says weird shit, like, in order to put you down, fuck them, bro. Like, why do people care so much? Like, okay, it's good to be sensitive, it's good to care, but let people live their lives. You are more than enough to experience love. Just because your said love of your life didn't assert that does not mean you are any less capable. You are outstanding and individually unique from anyone else. This, again, sounds cliche, but there is someone out there who would love the fuck out of you. I'm telling you, there will be someone out there who appreciates everything about you, who will love you through thick and thin, through your flaws, through everything. You aren't difficult to love, you probably just found the wrong person. If an ex gets a new partner, then that's great. Be happy for them. Because what productivity will you achieve by staying in the past? You can always find someone who is more compatible and could not amount to anyone else. How did I get over it? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Just kidding. It took a great quantity of self-reflecting and analyzing. Unquestionably, I cried a lot. And like literally, embarrassingly, almost everywhere I went. It is no lie when people express that getting over a breakup is a matter of time. I knew that I could surpass this pain by waiting it out. It is encouraged to explore hobbies, take care of your health, figure out what works for you, what makes you feel good, what goals you want to achieve. Because personally, I found interest in literature, a lot of literature. Oh my god. I have my little diary. I have a shit ton of poems over here. Dude. And like, goodness, I wrote a lot. My friend gave me this, Dom. Props to Dom. He's a good friend. And he also kind of introduced me to a lot of things that I know now, which I'm very grateful for. I found interest in literature, danced a lot, made new friendships, created art, and once I felt ready, I even explored new relationships. This process will hurt. And as mentioned, it's a matter of time. So don't try to rush too quickly. This pain will pass, but it's entirely up to you and your decisions on how to motivate that initiative. It will only pass if you let go of the past. And once you're ready, find someone who is sure of you. Find someone who thinks of you as someone incredible, a person who commits even in the roughest times, someone who recognizes you as beautiful, even once you reveal your greatest faults, are the people who are worth staying for. Don't settle for anything less. Please do not settle for anything less than what you deserve. Because the worst thing that you want is to keep settling for worse, and then over time it'll just keep getting worse and worse and worse, and then you'll just have like no sense of self-respect for yourself, and it's just like kind of sad. Don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. And this is kind of like the end of the video. I'm sorry if I can't give the greatest advice, but all I can say is to fall in love with someone who loves you just as much. Why do breakups hurt so much? I wouldn't know entirely. Maybe this video could at least give some insight. I'm not the greatest at making YouTube videos. I'm not the greatest at speaking clearly. I've made so much I stutter. I'm stuttering right now. Oh my god! I think I just like put that in my brain, and then I subconsciously started stuttering. But yeah. Shout out. I don't know. But like, yeah. Do what you guys think is best for you. Just learn to love yourself. Learn to love your past. Learn to accept your past. Because that is what creates you to become who you are now. And be glad for who you are. All the shitty experiences you've experienced, you wouldn't be here without them.
Everybody in this bitch scream out for my age, for my age.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know where that